Following the trials of the Belgian Waffle Ride San Diego, a verdict has been reached. But first things first, let's break it down. This is our Canyon Grail CFR. The paint is called Opus. As you can hopefully see the tiny flakes in there. And it's accented with a matte black. If she could, she would promptly tell you, don't call her Grace. That her name is not Grace. And with that, we would respond with, okay, Grace. I understand that the overwhelming majority of you will not get that reference, but you have to trust me on this one. It's a 4.5-star reference. Shout out to Minneapolis and Prince for creating one of the top sounds in the history of music. Let's see. We got the Minneapolis sound and Motown. And, oh shit, New Jack. The New Jack swing of the 90s. Goodness. That's 3 heads on Mount Rushmore. What's number 4? I know you're like, oh, wait a second. You're naming off all these R&B sounds. What about rock and roll? Well, I really don't know any sounds from rock. Any sounds of a rock from rock and roll. I mean, what was there? The British invasion? You can't put the British invasion up there with Motown and Minneapolis. So I can't think of any other rock sounds. I mean, what was that called? Doo-wop? Whatever that sound was from the TV show Happy Days. Remember, we're not talking about genre. We're talking about a specific sound within that genre. So for right now, we're going to go with Minneapolis, Motown, and a New Jack swing. And wow, we're going to have to leave it at that for now. I may address it again in the future when we come up with number 4. But for now, back to the black. So Grace here is coming in at 18 pounds. We've got DI2, which for those who don't know, it's electronic shifting, which for those who have it will tell you it's a game changer. And before I go any further, let me remind you again, like I said in the title, this is not a technical breakdown of the bike. That's not me. I'm going to keep it as basic as possible because that's where my knowledge of bike components and mechanics are. Okay? So, this is a large carbon fiber frame. You can see here, it's emblazoned with the CFR, which stands for Canyon Factory Racing, which helps to make me believe that I'm a badass while I'm riding it. Different slots you can see for your bags. If you have extra bags, for those of you who like to do the ultra endurance rides. And they even have a storage compartment right there for tools or tubes, whatnot. Me personally, I am a ultra minimalist. So I don't like anything extra on my bike. No bags, anywhere. I don't want anything. I'm a real homer for the clean aesthetics. front and rear derailleurs are Shimano GRX, Shimano, yeah, I don't know how this looks on there. You have a Shimano Ultegra 12-speed cassette. I know, I got a good idea. Let's flip it around so you can see it. You got that side. Okay, flip this sucker around. Okay, there we go. So, like I was saying, you have the Shimano Ultegra 12-speed cassette at 1134. You see there, you have the GRX there, Shimano crank, the GRX with the 4i, I don't even know how you pronounce that. 4 eyes or 4 I power meter. But those of you who know, you get it. And I love this thing. I love having a power meter. I had a Stages power meter on my other Canyon bike, which didn't last long. Thing crapped out pretty quick. So hopefully we fare much better with the 4i. I don't even know how many eyes it is. And so far so good. We got our fingers crossed. And of course, you have to get your own pedals. And we went Shimano XTRs to keep the uniform code. Shimano chain brakes, DI2 and rotors, and you get it. The bike is dripping in Shimano. And we don't have a problem with it at all. And let's get back here. We have the DT Swiss carbon fiber GRC 1100 wheels, deep dish on the Schwalbe G140 millimeter tires. I like Schwalbe. I like the feel, but I really love the look. I'm down with Schwalbe. Same on the front. 40 millimeter. Deep dish. DT Swiss GRC 1100. And no, the tires are not tubeless. Not doing tubeless. I had the same option on my Canyon Ultimate. Nope, I told you already, I keep it basic. So for the grams I can save by going tubeless or the time, I'll have to make it up somewhere else by keeping it basic and running tubes. That's what it is. I don't have time for all that. I already told you, that's not me. And so what we talked about? We talked about the crank already and the pedal. So, the seat, long seat post. Told you it's a large. And so it came with the, what was it, a physics seat. Physics Venti Ergo seat. But of course I swapped it out right away for my saddle of choice on all my bikes. The Sail SMP, because your ass matters. 3 to 6 hours on a bike, let alone 50+% off-road, you better have a seat that you know is tailored and approved by your ass. So with all that said, after completing the 60 miles of the Belgian Waffle Ride with 4,000 feet of elevation, 60% off-road, and I'll remind you again, in case you haven't heard or don't know, Belgian Waffle Ride is one of the most technical gravel courses out. It's unmatched. I haven't heard anyone argue different. And what I'll tell you is that Grace was out there floating like a butterfly while I was stinging like divorce papers. Right? Yeah, I know some of you, a lot of you just yelled, ouch. Yeah, exactly. Woo. So, this is the machine that did it for us in our first test race and has us excited about many more adventures. One heart feeds the fire, one heart burns desire. I wonder who's crying now. Two hearts born to run, who'll be the lonely one? I wonder who's... Like, what the fuck, oh? You singing Journey? I'm like, yeah, you got a problem with it? Who's crying now that I have a machine that can take all of the punches and keep us up there with the lead pack? And who's going to be crying later? Well, actually, that'll probably be me. Probably be me. Because at some point, I'll be going down. I mean, that's just what it is. We have to accept that. That's just how it works. And the more I try to avoid it, the more cautious and slower I'll ride, killing the experience for me, but maybe even for the guys racing with me or beside me. It actually puts you more at risk, riding too cautious. Because in gravel and mountain biking, everybody goes down. Everybody is from the time that you start pedaling your first bike, you're on the clock. And to excel at gravel and mountain biking, you have to have the mindset of reckless abandon. You have to fly around the course like you don't have any sense. I'm not going to that extent, but that's where you get the full experience. That's where the fun is. Just like a song, you remember? Remember when you were a kid and your mom smacked you upside the head, asked you if you were retarded? Like, what are you doing? Don't look into the sun. And now you're rubbing the side of your head, mostly checking to see if you're bleeding, talking about, but mama, that's where the fun is. Right? You were right. We can't help it. That's how we were designed to do reckless, dumb shit that we mask as challenges. It's not our fault. It's where the fun is. What was that? Blinded by the light. Who sung that song? Who was it? Steely Dan? Boss Skaggs? Bob C? I don't know. Well, whatever. So, pretty much on your rides, you have a I don't give a fuck meter. And that determines your level. You're not going to be a top cyclist on any level if you harbor any fears of crashing. The top guys, their I don't give a fuck meter stays at 9 to 10. My level, my current level at BWR was a 2. I like to get it up to around 5 or 6, and then hopefully make up distance in other areas. That should keep it fun, 5 to 6, depending on the course. I'm not doing 8 or 9s anywhere anymore. I spent enough time in the infirmary due to cycling mishaps, and I want to be past all that. Don't want to really go through that anymore. I can tell you, I got some stories about some very, very intense, painful stays in the infirmary. I got a lot of things I still want to do and experience, places I want to see, and I want to be able to remember it. So with all that said, yes, I'm enjoying the look of Grace right now, knowing that at some point in the future, Grace is going to be scratched and dinged and won't be the same again. Who knows? But for right now, the verdict, 4.5 stars. Only because nothing is perfect. Nothing gets 5. So we're giving Grace a 4.5. There you have it. I've got, 3 top-notch, 3 top-notch bikes. 2 are Canyon, 1 gravel, 1 road, and 1 solid road backup. This should be my last bike review for a while, hopefully, which just happened to be my first bike review. Now, you can all sing it with me. But mama,